Let's take a look at solving systems of equations graphically. So the first thing you want to do is concentrate on the y-intercept value, which is your initial value along the y-axis. The second number you're going to use is the coefficient of x. If you don't see a number in front of x, it's 1 over 1. So from my value of 6, I'm going to travel a rise of 1 and a run of 1. Click one time, and there's your graph. Now I'm ready to plot the second line. My y-intercept is -4. My slope is -3 over 2. So from -4, I'm going to go down 3, but +2. So I can only use that negative one time. So now I have my two linear equations, and their point of intersection will be my solution. So the solution on the x number line is -4, and on the y number line it's +2. So -4, 2. Again, in order to graph, you start from the y-intercept, which for us would be -4, and then from there you travel using the slope value. If there is no coefficient of x, it's +1 over +1, up 1 over 1. The second equation has a y-intercept of 8 and a slope of -1/2. Now remember, you can only use the negative one time. So if I go down 1, I have to go +2. There's my point of intersection over here, 8, 4. So I'm going to type that with parentheses, 8, 4. Oops. Parentheses, 8, 4. All right, let's take a look at the next system, which is being solved algebraically using the process called elimination. So hopefully you remember that elimination is when you add your system together. When you add your system together, 6 take away 5 is 1. 1, -1 and +1 is 0. And then when I combine here 21 and -18, when I add those together, I'm going to get 3. I'm going to get 3. So this gives me the answer for x, but I still have to find the answer for y. So in order to do that, I'm going to take this value of x, right? So I just found that x is equal to 3. And so I'm going to use my first sentence. It doesn't matter which one you use. But what I need to do is erase and replace this value of x. So I'm going to erase the x and replace it with 3. So 18 minus y equals 21. Subtract 18 from both sides. -y equals 3. And now I have to get rid of that negative sign. So if -y is equal to 3, I divide both sides by -1. And y is -3. X was +3. Y was -3. So 3, -3 is what I'm going to type here. 3, -3. We'll do this one more time. Elimination method. Elimination method asks you to add your two systems together. But for us, if we did that, we would not get an elimination. You see this? We would not get an elimination. So instead of adding, I'm going to subtract this second system, or times everybody by -1. My first equation stays the same, but my second equation will turn to a +8x, distribute +4y, distribute -44. So 10y equals -10, y equals -1. Now remember, that's only half your answer. You need to erase and replace your letter y. So I'm going to write my sentence again. I'm going to use the top sentence here. I'm going to erase and replace the letter y. So -8x minus 6 equals 34, plus 6 to both sides. -8x equals 40. Divide by -8, and I get -5. So -5, -1 are my two solutions. -5, -1. Alright, let's take a look at the other algebraic method known as substitution. And this is when you just erase and replace immediately. So it looks like my sentence here says that y is equal to x. So I can put an x wherever I see the letter y. I erase my y and replace it with an x. Subtract 3x from both sides. Divide both sides by -2. And I get x is -7. But now I have to replace that in this sentence here. If x is -7, I erase and replace. And it looks like I have a repeat. X and y are both -7. So let's type that in here. Let's try another question. Okay, this time I'm going to erase my y and replace it with a -7x. I'm going to solve for x. -11x equals 22. Divide by -11. So x is -2. And replace that here. Right? Erase and replace. So it looks like y is 14. Ooh, my marker is not working properly. So -2 and 14. All right, let's take a look at the next topic, negative and zero exponents. So here we're going to use a lot of our property of exponent rules. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify what's inside my parentheses here. And when you multiply like bases, you keep the base the same, but you add the powers. All right, I still have this -1 out here. And when you're raising a power to a power, you multiply. So that's 3 to the +3. There we go. 3 to the +3 is this fourth answer right here. Okay, so in this one, in the top of my fraction, I have a base of 3 and another base of 3. So I'm going to keep my base the same. I'm going to add my powers together. And now I know you can't see it, but this bottom 3 has an exponent of 1. And when you divide like bases, you subtract the powers. So -5 subtract 1 is -6. And 3 to the -6 power. And that is this answer here. Let's try this one more time. The first part is a division question. And when you divide like bases, you subtract. So the power of 2, subtract -7, right? That's a +2. That's a -7. So that's going to be 2 to the 2 minus 7, or 2 to the 9th. And then I'm going to times it by a 2 to the invisible 1, which is 2 to the 10th. What is wrong with my marker? It's not working properly, I'm sorry. 2 to the 10th. All right. Now let's identify some transformations. Figure L is green. It is a transformation of the blue figure K. So blue was first, green was last. What happened? So blue was first, green is last. So this blue figure reflected over the y-axis. It's a reflection over the y-axis. To make sure you're going the right way and you're reading properly. M is the result of transforming L. Right? M is a transformation of L. So let's see. A reflection over the x-axis would put you up here, so not that one. A rotation 180 degrees clockwise? Yes. It's definitely a rotation. All right, one more. This is also a rotation, but it's only one quadrant. So that's a 90-degree rotation. And it is going from blue to green. It's going from blue to green. So I'm going this way, right? That is counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. All right, great job. Let's take a look at this last one. Solve for interior angles, right? Do you remember the sum of the angles rule? All three of these angles need to add up to 180 degrees. So x plus 113 plus 42 equals 180. X plus 150, oops, that's a plus sign. X plus 155 equals 180. Subtract 155. I'm sorry, my marker is so bad today. So that would be 25. 180 minus 155. Remember, if you can't see the angle, but you see a square box here, that means it's 90 degrees. So x plus 90 degrees plus 30 equals 180. Or x plus, sorry, keep doing that. X plus 120 equals 180. And then we subtract 120 from both sides. X equals 60. Oh man, my marker's just acting funny today. Okay, good luck.